Tesla has had nothing short of a wild year in 2022, with some amazing accomplishments despite a barrage of challenges. Both Giga Berlin and Giga Texas opened for business this year, helping to push Tesla's Model Y to new records along with the help from Tesla's Fremont and Shanghai factories. Tesla achieved volume production of its 4680 battery cells, amounting to the equivalent of 1,000 cars per week worth of batteries. The company began first deliveries of the Tesla Semi, has made massive progress on its full self-driving software, unveiled a humanoid robot, and has begun to truly ramp its energy storage business with the Megapack. This was all despite factory shutdowns at their most productive factory in China, and a flurry of rumors and economic data weighing down heavily on the industry and Tesla's stock, which has dropped about 69% on the year. However, Elon Musk has helped position the company well to weather any economic downturn we see going into next year. Tesla's cash position has grown to over $20 billion, and the company paid off virtually all of its debt this year. The Tesla bears have had the time of their lives watching Tesla stock crash all year long. But now as we approach the final hours of 2022, there may be some silver lining for the long-term investors who have been patiently waiting for some positive news. 2023 will begin with a flood of new tax credits that could tip the scales in Tesla's favor. While it's not all downhill from here, both Tesla and General Motors have previously exhausted their tax credit allowances, which all other automakers have been benefiting from over the past few years. Tesla has essentially been fighting off ICE and EV competitors with high-priced vehicles and no tax credits, and yet people are willing to pay more in some cases to get their hands on Tesla's technology, which will likely push the Model Y to be the best-selling car by revenue for 2022, just as Elon Musk predicted, and on track to achieve the best-selling vehicle by unit sales in 2023. In literally a few hours, a new set of Inflation Reduction Act tax credits will completely flip the automotive landscape on its head, backing a major tailwind for Tesla going into the new year. And before we continue, stop using Yahoo Finance, stop using Google Finance, and have a look at our website, themarketisopen.com, where we have instant stock quotes and financial data going back 10 years, and it's all freely available. Elon Musk sent Tesla employees an energizing email to rally the company for an end-of-year delivery push. He stated, "Please go all out for the next few days and volunteer to help deliver if at all possible. It will make a real difference." Frankly, the Tesla team appears to have been executing incredibly well this year, with very little to show for if referencing the stock price. Elon Musk's employee emails typically get leaked to the public, and so this employee pep talk may act as reassurance for investors, some of which appear to have lost confidence in Tesla or fear the worst given all the rumors swirling about Tesla's short-term demand troubles and Elon Musk's tweets. Some believe that Elon Musk, who runs 5 companies, has become distracted with the 5th being Twitter, and that he hasn't been present at Tesla. Despite Elon Musk's attempts to disprove this by stating that he's been working at the company this entire time and building confidence by saying that Tesla's long-term fundamentals are intact, even though short-term market madness is unpredictable, this hasn't offered enough substance to those shareholders who sit worried and on the fence. But truly leading the company and the employees, as seen through this email, shows that Elon Musk is ready, along with the Tesla team, for what lies ahead in 2023. Now, just days, literally hours before the end of the year, Tesla just lowered prices for the Model S and Model X to clear out inventory, make room for new 2023 models, and add more vehicles into the year-end numbers. They've taken similar action every year as they close out their inventories and financial statements. The last few weeks of the year have certainly been challenging as buyers anticipate new $7,500 tax credits going into 2023, which has caused people to want to delay their orders until the new year. Tesla has in turn had to temporarily discount vehicles, leading to a wave of bears and short sellers calling for weakening demand at Tesla as they lock in big gains on their short positions. Buyers who take delivery by year end will currently receive $7,500 off basically every Tesla model at this point in the US, which is actually better than the government's upcoming tax credit since it won't apply to Model S and X and will have income caps and other restrictions. This sales push could increase Tesla's quarterly delivery count, which comes out in a few days once the quarter ends, but could put some pressure on vehicle margins given the discounts when Tesla reports earnings later in January. With the exception of last year, Tesla's gross margins have actually been lower in the final fourth quarter as compared to the third quarter, and even if they are once again, each vehicle with discounts still contributes to profitability. But if they've already hit their numbers, this initiative can be seen as the cherry on top, even if it hurts margins, but it helps Tesla better prepare itself for next year with a clean slate and reduced inventory. Now, the IRS has released some new guidelines related to electric vehicle pricing requirements if they want to qualify for the Inflation Reduction Act tax credits. The primary rules are that the vehicles have undergone assembly in North America and that the MSRP be no more than $80,000 for a van, SUV, or pickup truck, and $55,000 for other vehicles, namely sedans. Now, this includes plug-in hybrid vehicles, which is a little strange since they still ship with a combustion engine and have a much smaller battery, which seems like a bit of a loophole. That said, they may not get the full tax credit depending on the battery size. Now, for Tesla, the tax credit covers Model 3 and Model Y as expected, but there are some weird things going on. There are 3 versions of the Model 3, but the performance model doesn't appear to be listed. Now, perhaps this list is not yet complete, as there are many other automakers who haven't yet submitted their list of eligible models. But the performance model should and likely will qualify. What's even weirder, however, is that the Model Y is divided into 2 different categories, where the 7-seater version is considered an SUV and gets the $80,000 MSRP limit, while the 5-seater Model Y needs to be below $55,000, which basically considers it a sedan instead of an SUV. In both cases, the vehicle itself, for all intents and purposes, is identical. The number of seats should have no effect, at least outside of these IRS rules, on whether a vehicle is an SUV or sedan. Technically, Model Y is a crossover, which commonly falls into the SUV category, but certainly not a sedan. Volkswagen seems to have a similar classification problem, where the ID.4, which again is a crossover SUV, has 2 different MSRP limits depending on the specific model. In VW's case, it's based on all-wheel drive or not, and in Tesla's case, it's based on seating, neither of which makes much sense. The made-up rules also totally fall apart when looking at Ford, since the Mustang Mach-E, another crossover, is stuck with the $55,000 limit, but somehow the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid qualifies as an SUV, and it's a 5-seater crossover. Also, the Lincoln Aviator and Corsair are basically the same car, and one gets $55,000 and the other gets the $80,000 limit. And there are other crossovers in the list that get the $80,000 break. So something doesn't add up. There needs to be a rule that applies evenly and fairly to all auto manufacturers. Either no one gets the benefit or everyone gets the benefit, but according to the list so far, the government seems to be picking favorites without being transparent with the new rules they're coming up with on the fly. Also, going back to Tesla, there's a separate entry for an all-wheel drive version which currently doesn't exist on Tesla's website. Both the long-range and performance models are all-wheel drive, but it's possible that this is referring to another 2022 model since they originally changed up the initial vehicle lineup, though Tesla's website hasn't changed in a while, unless Tesla is planning a new entry in order to help them qualify for the credits. Currently, Tesla's Model Y starts at $65,000, so with the current rules as stated by the IRS, only the 7-seater versions will qualify for the tax credits for now unless Tesla drops the price. But actually, even just last year, the Model Y was being priced much closer to $55,000 before Tesla had to increase price due to inflation. This data shows that Model Y prices have peaked and have started to come down. If the 5-seater Model Y only begins to qualify at $55,000, there are still some promising steps that Tesla can take to make the tax credit an option. The first is that inflation is indeed coming down, which includes commodity prices and raw input costs into Tesla vehicles. They've also cut costs over the past year, such as removing ultrasonics and radar, so if the raw materials and component landscape can get closer to where it was in 2021 on price, then Tesla could likely get back to $55,000 on the Model Y. There's also Giga Texas, which wasn't there a year ago, which is still in the process of ramping up Model Y. As volume output grows, Tesla reaches higher economies of scale, and so lowering the price will get easier as production expands. If Tesla can get the price of the Model Y to $55,000, it immediately falls to $47,500 with the tax credit, which will further spur demand and allow the Gigafactories to continue to expand further. Another strategy is to offset lowered Model Y 5-seater prices by increasing prices on other models such as the Model 3 or the 7-seater Model Y that already get the tax credit so that Tesla doesn't take a hit on margins. One other interesting thing is that if the base model hits the exact MSRP needed to qualify for the tax credit, you wouldn't be able to throw in any add-ons into the build. But the cool thing is that there are some things you can purchase later on, like getting possession of the car and then adding software to it, like FSD, or you can upgrade to other tires later on in order to keep the qualifying purchase price down. It's likely that Tesla will take steps starting in the new year to play around with features and the pricing here in order to make their offerings easier to qualify for the credits. Now, as I've said in past videos, there's also a standard range Model Y that could come into play. It was on the menu temporarily before Elon Musk took it off, citing that there wasn't enough range at slightly under 250 miles. There have since been engineering improvements and optimizations on Model Y, and Tesla could re-add that to the roster and even drastically increase the price from its original $39,000 listing price, because since then all vehicle prices have gone up about $10,000. Tesla usually has a $10,000 difference in price between the 1 and 2 motor options, so a single motor Model Y could be $10,000 less than the current long-range version, bringing it into the Inflation Reduction Act's qualifying range. A vehicle like that could see huge demand and would be much cheaper for Tesla to produce with one less motor and perhaps a subset of features to still give higher value and entice people to upgrade to the higher end models. This latter option would be really interesting if Tesla followed through with it, since there's high demand for a standard range Model Y, and Tesla's Model Y production is increasing rapidly, being the only car produced at all 4 of their factories worldwide, but specifically at 2 factories in the United States. And by meeting the tax credit criteria, it would offer both a great price for consumers and high margins for Tesla on a high volume car, without having to lower the price of their higher end 5-seater long range and performance models. In all cases, this is big for Tesla, going from 0 tax credits to an exorbitant amount on most of their vehicles, making them highly competitive with players who have already been getting a $7,500 credit this entire time. So what changes do you think Tesla will make to their lineup in order to get more of their vehicles to qualify for the government's tax credits? And how do you think these reduced prices on Tesla vehicles will affect the sales of EVs and plug-in hybrids from other manufacturers? Don't forget to check out my last video on automotive loans collapsing. Please hit the like button and subscribe, we would really appreciate that. And a huge shout out to all of our patrons that help to support our channel. Your support helps us to continue to make great content. Happy New Year, and thank you guys so much for watching.